The redesign is dangerous. The redesign is dangerous. The redesign is dangerous. The redesign is dangerous. The redesign is dangerous.
The random clowns.
The redesign is dangerous. 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 The lobby ride. The people walk 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 the lobby ride. Shame on Betsy Smith. 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 I blame Betsy Smith. I blame Betsy Smith. Shame on Betsy Smith.
Yeah, Betsy Smith of the Central Park Conservancy is the worst person in New York City right now.
Shame on Betsy Smith. Shame on Betsy Smith. Shame on Betsy Smith. Shame on Betsy Smith.
Hey, hey, ho, ho! Betsy Smith has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho! Betsy Smith has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho! Betsy Smith has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho! Betsy Smith has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho! Betsy Smith has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho! Betsy Smith has got to go. Hey, hey, blame Betsy Smith. We 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 blame Betsy Smith. E-bikes out of the park. 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 E-bikes out of the park.
Oh, that's 717 Fifth Avenue, that building right there.
E-bikes out of the park. E-bikes out of the park. E-bikes out of the park.
Yellow lights don't mean stop. 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 Yellow lights don't mean stop.
Yellow lights don't mean stop.
Yellow lights don't mean stop.
Yellow lights don't mean stop. Yellow lights don't mean stop. Yellow lights don't mean stop. Yellow redesign sucks.
That's a good one. That's my favorite. And it does. And it does. I'm going to go do a little joyride there later. All of them suck, actually. All of them.
Central Park ain't for e-bikes. Central Park ain't for e-bikes. Central Park ain't for e-bikes.
Central Park ain't for e-bikes. Central Park ain't for e-bikes. Central Park ain't for e-bikes. Central Park ain't for e-bikes. Central Park ain't for e-bikes. Central Park ain't for e-bikes. Central Park ain't for e-bikes. Conservancy doesn't care.
Conservancy doesn't care.
Conservancy doesn't care. Conservancy doesn't care. Conservancy doesn't care. Conservancy doesn't care. Conservancy doesn't care. Conservancy doesn't care. Conservancy doesn't care.
Betsy Smith must resign. 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 Betsy Smith.
Janet's doing some interviews. It's amazing that no city council members are here. They're so cold, and they're so supposedly for safety. Oh, right. I know her. Oh shit, that's Christina, the carriage operator, the horse carriage operator. The Zoom sort of works. They're swarming the cameras too. Look at this. Let's see what media is there.
Central Park is our park. Central Park is our park. Central Park is our park. Central Park is our park.
Fox News.
What park riders and goers must abide by. So for many months and even a year, we've heard that they can't have a comment on what's in the park. And then about a month ago, all of a sudden they're coming out against horse carriages in the park. We don't appreciate being lied to, especially when people are dying. Dogs are being killed. People are being maimed on a regular basis. Our parks are not for transportation. Our parks are for recreation and relaxation. Our parks are the only place that New Yorkers have to escape the e-bike crisis. It's the only oasis left for all of us, especially the most vulnerable. What about the old New Yorkers? What about people with disabilities? What about disabled? They can no longer feel comfortable walking in the park. This new redesign actually took away and was covered in burlap the accessibility pedestrian signals along with the regular walk signals. They turned all the red lights to yellow. So where sometimes people would stop, now nobody stops. It's sort of a message to riders that, hey, we don't have to stop at all now. The lights are yellow. They're not red anymore. This is unconscionable. Blood is on the hands of Mayor Adams for extending the pilot program, of Betsy Smith, David Saltonstall, and the executives of Central Park Conservancy for not standing up against these reckless vehicles, and the DOT, the NYC DOT, is in complete denial about how many accidents there are and how this affects everybody, even people not being hit. The quality of life of New Yorkers in New York City, where right now we're talking about the parks, is decimated. It is decimated by what's going on, and we've had it. What about Marilyn Levin? I had her photo a moment ago. I can't find it now, but Marilyn Levin was hit in April of 2024 near Tavern on the Green by a vehicle that hit her from behind and then fled. They flee when they hit people 90% of the time. We have 106 victims. In all but 7 cases, the rider fled the scene of the crash. How is that acceptable in any way, shape, or form? Marilyn's rider that hit her and left her unconscious with 5 broken bones in her leg fled the scene. The police, there's no police report. They didn't come because the EMT took her to the hospital. She was there for a week. She had to move into a rehab out of her apartment for 3 months on the Upper West Side to learn to walk again. This didn't make the press. I'm not blaming anyone here, but nobody talks about Marilyn Levin, 77 years old, whose favorite thing in the world was to walk in Central Park. She hasn't been back since. This was over a year ago. She's still walking with a cane and a walker. She was walking fine before this happened. We have a public health crisis, and all you have to do is ask anyone, any doctor that works. Does anyone have Marilyn Levin's picture? It's on the back of something. Where was I? I'm sorry. I got interrupted.
The doctor.
Okay.
Doctor.
What?
Doctor. ER doctor.
ER doctors. All you have to do is talk to any ER doctors in any hospital or city man in New York City and talk to them about how many victims come in on a daily basis that are hit by e-vehicles, mopeds, e-scooters. No, that's Renee. Yeah, Marilyn is a leg. Marilyn's leg was shattered in 5 places. This is Marilyn. Thank you, Carrie. This is Marilyn Levin. I spoke about her being hit from behind by an e-biker that fled and knocked her unconscious. To this day, there's no police report on this accident, so it doesn't show up in the DOT stats. That's an example of how many accidents don't show up on the DOT stats. 90% of our victims do not have a police report, therefore their accident doesn't show up on DOT stats. She was hit, left for dead. She lived, thank goodness. The EMTs took her to the hospital. She stayed there for days, then had to move to a rehab center out of her apartment for 3 months to learn to walk again. Her leg was broken in 5 places. This is a story that Transportation Alternatives doesn't want to tell you. They don't care. They want more ridership at all costs, and the cost of lives and people being maimed. What we're asking for today and every day is some common sense. E-vehicles don't belong in our parks. There are way more people than just Maryland. This is enough, right? And an e-biker was killed this summer. Just in the past 2 weeks, I think I've mentioned, I have been notified about 12 different serious accidents. I have pictures of all of them, and that's just our group's been notified. A woman 2 days ago, severe hematoma of the brain. Her husband, who's a doctor, called me from the ambulance. Where are these stories? We appreciate you here today talking about them. E-vehicles don't belong in our parks. We want our parks to be for recreation and respite, not transportation. We are so upset with Betsy Smith and the Central Park Conservancy for not ever speaking out against the dangers of e-vehicles in our parks, but then coming out and saying horse carriages should be banned. Well, why aren't you talking about e-vehicles that are killing people? You've told us many times that you can't have an opinion on what goes in and out of our park, but you're talking about horse carriages? Why aren't you talking about e-vehicles? Why? Is it because of money? Is it because you're tied to lobbyists like the bike lobby and the real estate lobby and whatnot, right? That is why Central Park Conservancy doesn't come out against e-vehicles in the park. It is so ageist and ableist that we are allowing e-vehicles in our parks, that we are allowing e-vehicles to run amok all over our city. We're the New York City E-Vehicle Safety Alliance.
That's 0060.
0060 is the bill.
0060.
0060
gotta go.
for e-bikes out of the park.
0060.
20 council members have signed it. We need the rest of them to sign it because the majority want e-vehicles out of our parks.
You have a message with the election coming up for the next mayor.
Well, my only message is we don't endorse candidates, but I can say that so far Cuomo is for Priscilla's law. Mamdani hasn't mentioned it, or Salima. I know Mamdani wants to subsidize e-bikes. We do know that, and that Cuomo is for registration and licensing of all e-vehicles. As far as the parks, we haven't talked to everybody about that. Anything else?
0060. E-bikes gotta go. 0060. E-bikes gotta go. 0060.
There was the understanding that you're supposed to stop, and some people did. And seeing the red makes some people stop, and some people slow down. Yellow is total permission to not ever stop at all. Both are bad because e-bikes don't belong in the park. But the yellow gives permission. It says, you know what, roll on through. Definitely. Yesterday was October 7th was a woman who was knocked over in a pedestrian pathway by an e-bike, a hematoma in her head. Her husband called me from the ambulance because he had read the New York Times article and is infuriated. He's a urologist. So she's in the hospital, very bad head injury. And then every single day for the last 2 weeks, either from that are the horse carriages sending me pictures, or people in our group sending me pictures of people laid out on the ground. I can send you. Okay, please text me and remind me. I know you did once. I have lived in incidents within the last 2 weeks, and that's just what we know about, Nora. That's just what we know about.
Yeah, check the stats today.
You guys, they have. Yeah, the biggest problem we have is the stats. That people do not, these aren't reported. Police don't report them. Sometimes people don't know to report. And I already knew that, and they were like, well, this is actually a fact.
Hope to hear Street
The DOT
Squad's
stats have
questions.
10 e-bike collisions reported for the year so far. 10.
10. I think we got more pictures I've sent.
There were 10 in the past 2 weeks in the park. NYPD. Oh, well, but they report to DOT, so DOT gets all their stats. DOT gets their death stats. It's very sad from the morgue, but they get their accident stats from the NYPD. That is true. So we have 107 victims, and like 16 didn't report because they just it wasn't so much they didn't. It's such a horrific thing, and they don't want to like relive it. So we have a percentage, but the highest percentage tried to report. The highest percentage, and it's all the land is 99, which don't have a report. Tried and couldn't do it.
She makes $1 million a year. It's a non-profit.
Where will we see? J-A-N-I-N-E, last name is Peter, and it's a Nancy C, like Charlie, H, K, hyphen Berry, E is in boy, E is in elephant, R-R-Y. I was hit by an electric scooter in Riverside Park when I was biking on the bike path. And the woman who hit me left the scene, and the police who came to pick me up, 5 days later I tried to write a report, and they wouldn't take a report because I was late. I was beyond the 5 days, and even though I was in the hospital and I was having surgery, they said that I left the scene of the accident also. I was picked up by an ambulance. She left the scene. She realized what she was involved. So it was a very exciting experience, and I was lucky because my job is a communication with so many people. So I'm out here for everyone who's almost hit or has been hit. Thank you. Thank you.
The big e-bikes, that's a good one. How come Streets Blog, that chick from Streets Blog isn't talking to anybody? Is she still here? Wow, Streets Blog is gone. Where'd she go? Oh wow, the Streets Blog reporter is gone.
It didn't have to be a victim. It didn't have to be a victim.
Oh, where'd she go? Wow, Streets Blog reporter didn't stick around. Fascinating. Oh, at least being interviewed.
Every single day, and we're they don't have e-bikes anymore because they're afraid of getting hit by an e-bike. And I'm running for city council right now for District 2, and my name's Allie Ryan. My number one issue is safer streets and sidewalks. So you admit city council as well as county council in Albany can make my job a lot easier by passing Priscilla's law as well as this bill, which are in Albany right now, and in the city council. They could do it today, they would save lives immediately. There's no reason for anybody to hurt. They're going fast while people are just walking leisurely. In East River Park, which is right near my home, the pedestrian overpasses are being replaced with pathways that are basically ramps for e-bikes to tune into the park. And they'll use East River Park, which is a 60-acre park. They will use
Hey there, Janet. You know there was a Streets Blog reporter here?
Yes, all when someone said leave.
Yeah. Oh, really?
It's like an Indian-looking guy.
No, it was a woman. One with short hair.
Does anyone want to pass out to walkers by some flyers?
Especially elderly people walk alone.
I'll be back.
We need to recognize bicycle e-bikes have no place in parks today. Allie